One last chance for Dustin Poirier to become undisputed UFC champion. Today we're going to be talking about the main event for UFC 302, Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier, and I will be giving my official prediction for the fight. So stick around to hear my thoughts. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. All right, guys, so we have, some people say, an unfair matchup, unfair title shot for Dustin Poirier. After getting KO'd by Justin Gaethje, he ended up KOing Benoit Saint-Denis at UFC 299. And due to the bookings that the UFC put on for UFC 300, including Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan, Dustin Poirier gets his title shot, one last chance. Most people thought that the next title fight was going to be a Makhachev versus Oliveira rematch or Makhachev versus Gaethje, which are both two very plausible options before UFC 300. And given that both of those fighters lost, they weren't going to give Arman Tsarukyan a title fight on like 6-7 weeks notice, 8 weeks notice, or I'm sorry, he didn't take the fight on 8 weeks notice. And then they, for some reason, don't want Max Holloway in the title picture at 155. Even after KOing the number 3 contender at lightweight, they put him at number 9 in the rankings. So that tells me that the UFC wants to keep Max Holloway at featherweight to fight Ilia Topuria. So here we have the UFC 302 main event. After all of which I explained to you happened, Dustin Poirier, even though he's 1-1 in his last 2, with a KO loss and a win over a rising prospect, not necessarily a number 1 contenders fight type of win, you know, moves on to fight Islam Makhachev, the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, the most well-rounded fighter in the world, in my opinion. I would have said about a year ago that it was Alexander Volkanovski, but given Volkanovski's back-to-back KO losses, Islam still winning fights, being undefeated, or not undefeated, but winning 13 fights in a row, I still think, right now, I think that Islam Makhachev is the best fighter in the world right now. As much as I have a disdain for the Dagestani privilege, Islam Makhachev is an incredible fighter. He's Khabib's grappling with very impressive striking as well. His striking has come a long way in his career. Islam is better than Dustin everywhere except for the boxing. I think Islam actually has better kicks than Dustin Poirier as well. So with the exception of boxing, which is where Dustin Poirier is better and probably hits harder, Islam Makhachev is better everywhere. Now, what's going to happen? He's going to back Dustin up to the fence. He's going to shoot a takedown. He's going to try to submit him probably early. He said he has something special for us. Dustin Poirier could, Dustin Poirier has gone 5 rounds a lot of times. Makhachev has gone 5 rounds, I think, once. And if Dustin can find a way to survive 2 rounds without being too beat up, too fatigued from defending takedowns and submissions, I think there's a chance here. I think there's a chance that he clips Islam. Islam gets tired. I think there's a chance that Islam gets clipped. I think there's a chance that Islam could shoot a lazy takedown, fatigued in the 4th round, and get guillotined. But at that point in the fight, they're going to be very sweaty. But there's so many weird things that could happen. It's MMA. At the end of the day, everything's an accident. Everything's a fluke. There are strategies, breakdowns, and all of that, but craziness happens in this sport, and that's what makes it so great. And so that's why I am open-minded to the possibility that Dustin Poirier lands a right hook as Islam Makhachev comes in. Islam's going to back him up to the fence. Maybe Dustin catches him while he's backed up against the fence the way that he did Michael Chandler. Makhachev's been knocked out by much less of a fighter in Adriano Martins, and it's certainly possible, but when it really comes down to it, if you look at the odds, Islam is a minus 575 favorite, and Dustin Poirier is a plus 425, 4-1 underdog. I usually don't go into the betting. I'm not a betting channel. I'm an MMA breakdown and commentary channel, but these odds are accurate, in my opinion. Dustin Poirier does have a path to victory. It is with a fluky guillotine or KO, in my opinion. And as much as I want to see him win, I just think that Islam Makhachev has more paths to victory, whether it be a 5-round decision, just holding them down, maybe another head kick KO like he had on Volk, maybe even beating him on the feet, takedown to a 1st-round submission. Islam just has so many more paths to victory, possibilities for victory in this fight. He's so skilled. He's so on his P's and Q's technically. I think that although I want more than anything right now for Dustin Poirier to win in fantastic fashion and get that undisputed belt, my official prediction for Makhachev versus Poirier is that Poirier is going to go out the same way he did against Khabib. He's going to look really good early, and then Islam is going to get a submission in the second round. Maybe the third. I don't think Islam's in a huge rush, but Poirier is going to want to get in and out, KO, guillotine. If it's a guillotine, he's definitely going to want to get it done early before they're sweaty and it's easier to slip out of those submissions. But that's my official prediction for the main event of UFC 302. Islam Makhachev defends his lightweight belt via submission in round 2 or 3. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Do you think Dustin's going to pull this off? Let me know who wins and what's their path to victory. Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you want access to extra content aside from my regular videos, click the link in the description down below to become a channel member and get access to members-only live streams and other bonus perks. Or click the join button on our channel homepage. And if you're interested in some non-MMA content from me, check out my weekly podcast, the Hissyfit podcast, and check out my personal channel, Wyatt's World. I'll have them both linked in the description down below. Go watch this suggested video, and I'll see you next time.